Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
Too much garbage in your face? There's plenty of space out in space. B&L Starliners leaving each day. We'll clean up the mess while you're away. The jewel of the B&L fleet, the Axiom. Spend your 5-year cruise in style, waited on 24 hours a day by our fully automated crew, while your captain and autopilot chart a course for non-stop entertainment, fine dining, and with our all-access hover chairs, even Grandma can join the fun. There's no need to walk. The Axiom, putting the star in Executive Starliner.
Because at B&L, space is the final frontier.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. And this week we discuss the movie that gives a bleak prediction for the future as one lone robot fights to bring humanity back to Earth, and another just wants to get laid. It's 2008's WALL-E. But first, he's the autopilot who's just following orders and wants to keep the status quo to my shiny, sleek robot who follows the directive come hell or high water. It's James. How are you doing, James?
Well, you know what? I have a game pulled up on my phone. I have the Star Trek Discovery forum pulled up on my laptop, and I have earplugs and a blindfold ready to go so that I can take a nap instead of talking about this stupid fucking movie.
And he's the grubby little robot who likes to play in garbage and loves show tunes. It's Rob. How you doing, Rob?
So there is white shit falling from the sky, which means that Texas has officially shut down. Yeah. So there's that.
I saw a bunch of snow. We have a friend who lives in Waco, and she sent us a video of like 3 inches of snow in Waco. So yeah, pretty much everything's fresh.
Yeah. So it's just wet.
Really?
Nothing.
You're just going to ignore me?
Yeah, we're just going to gloss over that.
Why am I
that's a really old fucking joke, and it's
well, you know what? I'm really fucking old.
Stick. So yeah, there's that. Kids were all excited because it snowed, and then come to find out it's not sticking, so they have to go to school tomorrow.
Oh.
Which really doesn't matter because it's virtual anyway. So I don't know how you have snow days.
I live in Iowa. It snows a lot. And you know what? Because it's virtual learning, there are no snow days. Shut the fuck up, kids. All right. I went to private school where we only got a snow day if it snowed more than a foot. Fuck off.
Well, there's no...
Dude, that's got to be bad if it snows feet.
From northern Texas down, there's like no snow plows. They don't really prepare for fucking snow and ice and shit. So if there's any kind of freezing precipitation, they just kind of freak out.
Well, and let's be honest. It's
wait
not
for the sky to fall.
Yeah, but let's be honest. It's not snow. It's sleet most of the time. So it's just raining ice constantly.
James, what's happening around CBC this week?
What's happening around CBC this week? Thanks for asking, Jason. Bad Gamers Anonymous is still looking for 2 or more podcasters interested in joining the Creative Brain Candy Network and podcasting on Bad Gamers Anonymous, talking about, you guessed it, being a bad gamer. If you're interested in video games, if you like to play video games, and if you're better at everything, more so than Rob. This is how uninterested I am in fucking doing this show today, because fucking WALL-E sucks. I can't even talk right. Go to creativebraincandy.com, click the apply button, and you too can be a podcaster. And I promise, no matter how shitty you are, you're better than Rob. That came out right. All right. I'm slowly getting back on track. Also, fuck you, Canada.
Holy crap. Shots fired.
Wow. Somebody didn't read the notes from our monthly
meeting. Yeah.
It was voted on and passed unanimously.
You know what? If
there was only 3 of us.
Yeah, if the 3 of you ass clowns think you can just legislate, all right, while everyone else is absentee, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. fuck off.
Well, this could have been all avoided if the president of the group would have canceled the meeting, but instead he just ignored everything.
Well, look, I can't speak to that. I can only speak for myself. And when the city decides on a Saturday, 5 months after a fucking derecho comes through and ruins ruins all the trees in the city, that they finally want to come on a cold, wintry fucking afternoon and literally not even trim the tops of the trees before they fell the tree. Is that correct language?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think so.
They just went to the bottom and started hacking. They didn't tell anybody what they were doing. They didn't come to the door and say, hey, please don't come down your driveway because this giant 3-ton tree is going to fall. They just did it. And they did it all up and down my block. And so they blocked my driveway once with my neighbor on the left's tree. Then they blocked my driveway with my tree. And then they blocked my driveway with my neighbor on the right's tree. And then they finally came today and picked it all up. So I cannot be held responsible for extenuating circumstances, not showing up to your meeting where you just try to pass stupid things that I have to say, and I won't say it. Candidate could fuck off.
Wait, so what about the chopping down of the trees kept you from going to the meeting?
I don't know if you know this, Jason, but when the city or the government in general does anything, they do it inefficiently. They pretty much do a shitty job of literally everything they touch. So that meant that in order for my wife to leave once they were done felling the trees, I had to go down and clean up the driveway of giant limbs and sticks that they decided not to put in the giant pile that they didn't pick up until today. Gotcha. That's what I was doing instead of showing up to a lame duck session of.
There's a cool thing. It's called a phone and headset or headphones. Yeah,
Anyways.
Earbuds. I mean, that's what I did.
Rob, you got any news for us this week?
I do. First one is Star Wars voice actor Tom Kane suffered a stroke a while back, and he's been trying to recover from that. But it looks like it's pretty much official. He is out of a job because he can't speak.
That sucks.
Which is unfortunate. Yeah. He's a well-known voice actor for the Star Wars franchise.
What did he voice?
Mostly Clone Wars. Actually, Clone Wars, and then he also voiced Akbar in The Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
What voices did he do in Clone Wars? I figured when you say
Yoda.
Voice actor and stuff, so he just did Yoda. That was it.
Numerous characters. One of the most well-known one is Yoda. I'm sure he was Senate official number 2 or whatever.
I feel bad for the guy. I do. I hope that he gets well. I hope that he recovers. I hope he's able to make a full recovery or even a partial recovery, because that sucks. It's terrible. So my sympathies, my condolences, and my empathy, I certainly, go out to him and his family as they deal with this tragedy. However, anyone and their fucking mom can do Yoda. In fact, everyone and their fucking mom does Yoda. Yoda, I do. Yes. Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Kermit?
I might have been Kermit. It doesn't matter. It was Yoda and Kermit's bastard child, also known as Baby Yoda.
So he also does voice work for Archer.
Oh,
See,
who does he do for Archer?
I don't. It just says Archer.
You buried the lead. I give a rip about fucking animated Star Wars. It's shittier than regular Star Wars, and that's saying something.
Well, hey, he did regular Star Wars too as Akbar. So
he had one throwaway line in a movie nobody gives a shit about?
Probably.
Okay.
Are you ready to give a shit about something else?
Yes, please.
The Pentagon has 6 months to disclose what it knows about UFO. They are on notice.
Yes. It pisses me off. We can fucking storm a Capitol, but we can't storm Area 51. Fuck all these fucking incels. I want Area 51 on notice. You got 6 months, motherfucker. Show us what you got.
Yep. Do you know where this mandate came from?
I do. As a matter of fact, it came from the new stimulus bill.
It came from the stimulus bill.
Yeah.
So they buried that in the stimulus bill. You get $600 plus. We're going to talk about UFOs.
Yep.
Sounded good.
You realize that disclosing what they know about UFOs means that if they don't know anything about UFOs, they just disclose.
Oh, they know shit.
We don't know anything about
all kinds
UFOs.
of stuff. They know all kinds of stuff.
They know.
They know.
We're going to find out about the fucking weird fucking peace treaty we have with them. We're going to find out about mind control. We're going to find out about the lizard people. We're going to find out all kinds of stuff. Okay? It's coming. 6 months, man.
It's a good thing I showed you that foil. The foil
video from Weird Al. Yeah. I'm just telling you right now, shit's already getting weird around the world. 6 months, baby. It's going to get a lot fucking weirder.
Oh, you two are dumb. What else you got, Rob?
All right. So my last bit of sci-fi news is Denmark. Denmark has made a cartoon about a man with a super long penis.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And this is sci-fi because he uses it to do things.
Yeah, it's prehensile.
It's prehensile, yeah. But apparently, Denmark's weird.
I'm all in on this.
Yeah, well, I'm all in too. I just don't know why they think it's a children's show.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You know what? I would much rather watch this than WALL-E.
Are you sure? Have you caught any scenes from it? Because
I have caught scenes from it.
Weird.
I want subtitles. Somebody get me subtitles so I can understand.
He uses his dick to save a kitten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one where his wife came out and she was upset that he was using his dick to do shit.
Yeah. So his name, the character's name is John Dillermand. Apparently, Diller is a Danish slang for penis. So it's John Penismand.
John Dickman. Yeah.
John Dickman. Yeah. So whatever.
I'm all in. I want this put on the list once subtitles are there, Jason. And if we can do WALL-E, we can do Dickman.
So I like this. I just found a little quote here. So one of the writers or what have you responded to everybody being all pissed off about this show, and his response was, a show about a woman with no control over her vagina would have been just as entertaining.
Yeah, 100%.
It would have been. I don't know how that responds to the criticism, though. I don't.
Because they were like, I don't know. They just said
it's a response to the criticism. I mean, he's not responding directly to specific criticisms, just in general. Like, hey, if we were going to do a vagina show,
would have been just
and call it, Margaret Pussy Woman or whatever. It's the same thing. It would have been just as entertaining. That is a response, and it is a correct response. He is 100% correct. Again, I find nothing wrong with this other than it might be marketed towards children. But again, if it's funny, it's funny, and funny doesn't know age.
All right, who's ready for a pod crawl?
Yeah,
let's do this.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
800 years in the future, the Earth is a hellscape of skyscrapers and trash heaps. Johnny Five's little brother, Wally, with the creepy simple idiocy of Rob and the hoarding instincts of James, is tasked with compacting trash and creating giant monuments to humanity's wastefulness with the garbage bricks. One day, while trying on some lady's underwear, a ship lands nearby and out pops Apple's newest line of iProbe. This roving murderbot is looking for signs of life on an otherwise barren planet. Wally Gump is a simple robot, but he knows what love is, and he's instantly smitten with the sleek lines and bright blue eyes of Eve, who Wally calls Eva. Wally brings Eva back to his place where Eva looks around and wonders if he's going to throw her into a pit and insists she put on the lotion. But Wally just wants to show off his hoard. Eva teaches Wally how to blow shit up, and Wally teaches Eva how to dance. Trying to impress his new crush, Wally offers up a recent find that he's hoarded away, a sprout of some sort in an old hobo's boot. Eva is instantly enthralled with the gift and goes into a coma after eating it. Wally creepily hesitates and fondles the comatose Eva until a ship arrives to pick her up and take her back to the mothership called the Axiom. Wally hitches a ride and smears dirt all over the fresh, clean ship, irritating the shit out of ancillary character and scrubber robot Mo. During her decontamination, the ship's systems are alerted that Eva has found a plant, and she's taken to see the captain for next steps. Wally tries to follow, but causes a 15-robot pileup on the highway when he can't merge into traffic. He eventually makes his way to the bridge where Eva is being evaluated by Otto, the ship's autopilot, and the captain, who is pretty much a figurehead. When they crack open Eve, there's no plant, and the captain calls a false alarm and orders Eva to be evaluated for repairs. Wally and Eva are taken down into the robot insane asylum for psychiatric evaluation, where Wally is locked up for his crimes of never taking a shower, and Eva is getting a spa treatment. Wally misinterprets her cries of pleasure and breaks out to rescue her, but releases all the crazies in the process, who then go on to wreak havoc on the ship. Meanwhile, Eva has had enough of Wally's pining and loads him into an escape pod with a one-way course to Earth. However, Wally doesn't want to leave Eva, and while they are arguing on should he stay or should he go, Otto's shady assistant robot loads up the plant into the escape pod. Wally rushes to grab the plant, but is shut into the pod as it launches, and soon realizes it's set to self-destruct. Eva launches herself out of the ship in an attempt to save Wally, but the pod blows up and roll fiery death credits. Just kidding, Wally survives and propels himself through space with the help of a fire extinguisher, and he and Eva dance around in space for a while. Eva takes the plant up to the captain, who starts planning the return to Earth, but Otto says, "Nah, I like it up here, and besides, the CEO of By and Large who started this whole exodus said we weren't supposed to return, so let's trash this plant and continue to eat meals through a straw." Otto fries the hell out of Wally and trashes him as well. The captain declares mutiny, and Eva rushes down the trash chute to save Wally and the plant. Two Wallys on steroids are down in the garbage hold, making giant bricks of trash to eject through the airlock, and Eva and Wally get compacted and ejected. However, Mo, using his head, keeps the inner doors from closing, and Eva saves herself and Wally from being spaced. Not that it would have been a big deal, since they were just gallivanting around outside the ship not 20 minutes before. Anyway, Eva wants to fix Wally, but his spare parts are on Earth, so they make their way to the Lido deck with the plant to start the auto sequence for the return trip back to Earth. Otto tries his best to keep them from putting the plant into the giant thing in the middle of the Lido deck, even listing the ship so that somehow gravity shifts, but the captain reaches up and pushes a button, and order is restored. The ship returns to Earth. Eva fixes Wally, but he loses his memory until they hold hands and kiss. The people start farming vegetables and pizza and roll the re-establishment of society so they can do this all over again. Credits.
All right.
Yay.
So before we get into in-depth coverage of Wally, I want to know why James hates this movie so much. Show us on the doll where Wally touched you.
Well, pretty much just Eve. Like, that's where Wally touched me, was everywhere. It's just it's dumb. It's dumb on a couple different levels. Number one, there's not a lot of dialogue to follow. And it's just kind of silly and slow and plotting for the first, I don't know, half of the movie. And then it's basically a big rail. The whole first half of the movie is a big fucking rant on consumerism and capitalism and corporate America as a whole, and that bigger is not better, and that bigger will ruin everything and it will ruin the planet. Then it goes into this whole fucking environmentalist fucking slant that we are going to absolutely ruin the planet if we continue to go the way we're going to go. And then what you find out is we just escape all of it the easy way, because that's what we do. We just do everything the fucking easy way. And we go to space and we all become fucking space cows that can't fucking walk and can't fucking do shit for ourselves. And we just automate everything, which, number one, is like, is a little ridiculous. It's a little far-fetched. It's far-fetched for a couple of reasons, but probably the main reason that this is so far-fetched for me is that nothing is made to last anymore. And so to imagine this shit lasting 700 years, where for 700 years, like, humans don't have to fix shit, doesn't make any sense. 0 cents to me. Like, every 5 minutes, especially because I'm guessing, corporate America probably ordered half this stuff from Wish to build the ship. So I'm surprised it got out of the atmosphere, number one. Number two, it's all built wonky anyway. The software doesn't talk to one another. It's all independently, like each system is independent of the whole. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then like Wall-E is the only motherfucker to survive this fucking hellscape out of all the other Wall-Es that are running around that he is using for spare parts cannibalism.
Right.
He is the only one that made it. Nobody else, just him, just the one guy. And
in that city.
Yeah, it's just it's a silly movie. It's a kids movie. It's not sci-fi. It is.
How is it not sci-fi?
It is because it is a rant against basically America. That's exactly what this movie is.
Okay.
I can't. I hate it. I hate this movie. I hate everything about it. Like normally, I'm all in on Pixar movies. I think Pixar movies are typically cute, they're fun. This is not. This is not a fun ride. It is a dumb ride. It is a silly ride. And if you try to break it down and you look at things objectively, it's literally worse than watching Wonder Woman 1984.
I don't know. That's a pretty strong statement because Wonder Woman 1984 kind of sucked.
It was good if you don't think about it. But once you start to think about it, Jesus Christ, it all just falls apart.
Right. Kind of I think Wall-E is a little more solid than Wonder Woman 84.
I think Wall-E's just, it's not.
You don't like Wall-E because it's basically putting a mirror in front of all of us.
I don't think
and you don't like reflection.
It is a very biased mirror.
Can't see.
No.
It is a biased mirror.
A vampire.
Yeah, and I don't. I think if it was a little more objective,
biased mirror, and it's not objective. It's definitely pushing to an extreme, but I mean it is self-reflective.
Right. No. So when you like in North Korea, they do this and it's called propaganda. And that's what this is. It is a children's movie that is essentially propaganda. I absolutely loathe this movie. I hated this movie when it came out because I saw it for what it is. And it's fine. We could discuss it. But if we're going to discuss it, everyone needs to understand that I am discussing it through the lens of objectivity and that this is a piece of fucking propaganda.
How can you say that this is propaganda and say that you're looking at it objectively?
I'm being as objective as they are.
Okay, so you're not being objective is what you're saying.
Look, it has to balance out. There's a yin and a yang. So if they're going to go to an extreme, I'm going to go to an extreme.
Okay.
Because that's what this is. This is teaching kids that corporate America is bad. Corporate America employs people. It gives people jobs. It gives people insurance. It gives people money. It gives people a purpose outside of all the stuff they've got going on at home.
Okay.
It's supposed to be fulfilling to have a job.
Sure.
So corporate America serves a purpose. You may not like corporate America. And look, we could talk about all kinds of things that are wrong in society, but it's not where corporate America is not where it starts.
I disagree. I think corporate America is one of the places where, yes, it definitely starts.
Oh, absolutely not. I'll tell you where it starts. It starts at home. Like if you want to really boil it down, it starts at home and the values that are getting taught at home and the values that people are allowing to be taught to their kids from an education system that is absolutely biased, that is absolutely slanted. And again, the government can't do anything right is run by the government. Like government is more evil than corporate America. 100%.
No.
You will never change my mind. It is what it is.
Okay. Well, then why are we discussing it? If I can't change your mind, why are we discussing
Wall-E and I
it?
hate this fucking movie.
Let's talk about Wall-E because your mind is set. It's not going to change. So there's no sense in discussing it.
God, fuck, this movie sucks.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
How much trash does a ship create when all they do is drink through cups? I mean, that was a shit ton of trash.
That was a shit ton of trash. Yeah.
And then furthermore, why did they leave Wall-Es on the planet when they had Wall-Rs up in space? They could have taken those big ass dudes and they could have made towers a lot faster and a lot more efficient.
Well, presumably the Wall-Rs came after the Wall-Es. I mean, R comes after E in the alphabet, so you figure maybe.
Well, but you got to think of it this way: the Axiom left when there were still people on the ground.
Wait, weren't there more than just one ship? Wasn't there more than one ship?
Yeah,
the rest of them got recycled and eaten by Axiom.
I guess so. Yeah, it did show more than one ship in the little animation that they did.
Mm. And why are you coming back to a planet that literally has one weed growing?
Yeah,
one.
No, they showed more weeds.
There's one cockroach. Like, ugh.
Yeah, the last.
Is that
cockroach.
what you're eating? Is a cockroach?
No, pizza. They're going to grow pizza.
I guess since they've shown that the planet can sustain life again, can sustain plant life again, that they can start growing crops. So that's why they went back to the
What about animals? What happened to all the animals? Did we just let them die?
Well,
we didn't know of them?
We saw sea animals in the ending credits. So there were turtles and fish.
Oh, you watched the ending credits?
Yeah.
Like as soon as the credits rolled, I turned that sumbitch off.
No, the animation in the ending credits usually tells a story, like an epilogue. So
yeah, I didn't like the story it told to begin with. I wasn't going to watch another story.
It was kind of cool. The ending credits rolled through, so it was very simplistic drawings and animation at first, and the drawings and animation got more sophisticated as their civilization got more sophisticated. It was actually kind of cool.
You should check it with Wally and Eva holding hands.
Nope, don't care. Don't care. When the two most interesting people in a fucking show don't really have a lot of dialogue outside of Eva and Wally, I have no interest in watching.
I like Fred Willard in this movie.
President and CEO of the world.
Right.
Yes, global CEO.
Yeah. I liked Fred Willard back when he did television.
I like Fred Willard in pretty much all of his roles. I really liked him in the mockumentaries that Christopher Guest did.
What is it? Dog Show? Best in Show?
Best in Show was good, yeah.
All right, that's the show.
I want to talk about, so Wally was apparently the last robot to survive. So is it because he somehow gained some sort of artificial intelligence through his time on Earth over the 700 years that apparently he was, creating trash bricks?
He figured out how to repair himself.
Yeah, he figured out how to repair himself. He apparently...
he became sentient.
Yeah. Because when they reset him, or when he reset after Eva repaired him at the end of the movie, it seemed like he was just, running through his program and creating trash cubes.
Yeah, he got rebooted back to default. But I'll tell you what, those evil corporations, they wrote a piece of software that evolved into a sentient being that saved the planet. But man, fuck those corporations.
Well, was that their intention? Or was that just a quirky happenstance?
I mean, do you want to go through history and talk about all of the things that corporations have done that were ancillary at the time that have become monumental things? I mean, I'm sure we can find hundreds of examples of that where it wasn't the intent at the time to do X, but X still happened.
I really don't want to, but I'm assuming you're going to go ahead and do it anyway.
And my point is that, corporations aren't all bad, but I think corporations are corporation-centric. They care only about themselves and their bottom line and their profits, and they will do anything and everything to...
That's called being a business, right?
Okay, and I'm not saying that's necessarily bad, but I'm saying that laissez-faire capitalism, where you just let businesses run wild, is tantamount to destroying your economy.
Or the earth.
Or the earth. Right? I was just going dun dun dun. Or we'll all end up in spaceships, and not on Earth, running around in chairs being fed liquid food.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing how any of that's bad.
Free hot dog in a tube.
Right, and every 100 years you get a free cupcake in a fucking cup. I'm not seeing a downside to any of this.
Okay, well, if that's the way you want to live, so be it. But it should everybody
we'll fire your ass up into outer space.
Be dictated as such.
Let's make it.
That seems kind of dictatorial, right?
So
wait. I didn't. You'll have to repeat that for me.
I said, should everybody's lifestyle be dictated as such? Should everybody be forced to?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
No. But you're not going to dictate my lifestyle either.
Okay.
So you can't say X is bad and everybody has to do Y. At the same time,
That's
somebody
not what
else
I'm
goes,
saying.
I want to do Y, and X is bad. Like it's either we can all do what we want, which is very libertarian, which is kind of pretty much where I'm at this point. Like if you want guns, have a gun. If you don't want guns, don't buy a gun. Like I don't give a shit.
Well, no, you can't just say everybody can do whatever they want.
I'm okay with it.
Really?
I don't care.
That's called
Yep.
anarchy.
I'm going to come murder your child.
Well, you can try.
Do you have a gun?
Several.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you a better
100%.
shot than he is?
Tell you what, I'm
yeah,
gonna
that might
borrow your guns. I'm gonna borrow your guns, and
No.
then,
No, you can't borrow my guns.
but I want to.
Well, you can try again. You're willing. You're more than capable of trying. But that doesn't mean you're going to succeed.
Oh, okay. I was like, is there more to this sentence?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try, but succeeding is different than trying.
You do or do not. There is no try.
I don't think that's accurate, Yoda. You know what? You'd make a great Tom Kane.
Thank you.
Perfect Tom Kane, yeah.
Perfect. How did they make babies?
That's a good question because two of those characters seemed to like really not even know what romance was until they had the screens ripped away from their eyes and they touched
right.
hands.
That's what I'm wondering. You know, they seem to be self-involved. So how do they make babies? And furthermore, if the CEO dude basically said, "Hey, Otto, take over," why didn't he just like, okay, I'll keep these people alive and then eventually just who cares? Why worry about, procreating the species? I mean, I could understand you can't control it for a while, but I would think at this point in time,
Well, I think Otto's programming was to assist the captain in his duties and the captains throughout
or
time.
not let them go back to Earth.
Well, yeah, that was
just be
his
the
ultimate
captain.
goal. I mean, he was told by like Directive A113 that
Order 66.
they weren't supposed to go back to Earth. But other than that, as long as that directive didn't get in the way of him, I guess, assisting the captain into doing whatever they're supposed to be doing, proliferating the species and holding on until the Earth was ready to be inhabited again, he was doing that as well. I don't think they're mutually exclusive until they conflict.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the proliferation of the species, I'm not sure how they did that. It's a kid's movie. I don't think they're going to go into that kind of detail.
Probably put them in a cup or something, or a straw.
Yeah, it may have been like a test tube type thing.
Yeah, maybe. Did you know they have a pool?
I didn't know they had a pool until midway through the movie.
And they talk about microgravity, yet they have a pool and
yeah, let's talk about the
shifting.
gravity. So I understand this is a kid's movie and they simpled down the physics and the way things in space work. They had, sound in space, and while that kind of annoys the shit out of me in a lot of movies, sometimes I just gloss over it because again, this is a kid's movie, and realistic non-sound in space would be dull for kids. So
Absolutely. Like when you're creating a piece of propaganda, you've got to keep the audience engaged.
well, yeah.
So propaganda aside, which this is not, but when he rotated, when he listed the ship,
Blue is the new color.
yeah,
Blue is the new red.
when he listed the ship, why did everything fucking shift over to the right? That's assuming that the plane of gravity doesn't rotate with the ship.
Okay, this isn't The Expanse.
I'm just asking. I mean, that was kind of dumb.
There's not a whole lot about this movie, Jason, that wasn't
There was
dumb.
a whole lot about this movie that wasn't dumb. The animation was really cool.
Oh yeah, again.
I did
Creating
like
a piece of propaganda. You
I did
gotta
like
keep
the
audience engaged.
Right. I did like the marriage of live action and
Yeah, that was cool too.
cartoon in there. That was or animated. That
How
was
old
good.
is this movie?
2008, so it's 12 years old.
12 years old. like it didn't take off. Like I remember thinking at the time, well, this might take off. It'll be more like Roger Rabbit bullshit. And it wasn't. It didn't. Not like this is one of the only ones that I can think of in the last 12 years. It tries to marriage live action and animation.
Yeah, and they did it in a way that I think was smart because it was just like video feeds that were the live action part. And I think that was probably pretty smart. Everything else was animation. I think if they'd gone the Roger Rabbit route where it was live action and animation together, I don't think it would have worked as well. And I'm not necessarily sure that, this is something that should be done a lot. I think it was unique in this movie. I think they did it well. I think if they had tried to push it into more of their movies, I don't think it would have come off as well done. I don't think it would have worked.
Sure. There's not a lot about this movie that worked for me.
Yeah, I got you to think about propaganda, though. It pissed you off. It triggered you.
It did trigger me. I just think it's silly. Never mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You know what? It doesn't matter what I think. If you enjoyed this movie, enjoy it. Don't let me bias or color your view of this well animated piece of leftist propaganda.
Odd.
Don't let me piss in your socialist Cheerios. Go eat those Cheerios, motherfucker.
How is this socialist? Wow, that was a leap. You're gonna have to explain that.
Explain to me how this isn't socialist. It's all about the greater good. It's the elite keeping down the working man. In fact, now there's not even they're just all in shit.
Who was the elite keeping down the working man?
The elite would be Otto.
He wasn't keeping anybody down.
Oh, certainly he was.
No,
he didn't want humanity to go back to Earth.
Okay, that was one of his directives.
Maybe this is just, you know what? Maybe I've got this all wrong, Jason.
It was
maybe I've got this all wrong. Maybe this
running rampant throughout the ship in space. I mean, there was advertisements
this is our robot
everywhere.
overlords getting us ready through this propaganda to submit to them when they finally take over, which is probably in 6 months. When the Pentagon's forced to release everything they know about UFOs.
You better start making some fucking tinfoil hats now.
All he has to do is bust open his closet.
I got a couple right here.
Come on, right there, ready to go.
With saddest symbols on them, with the saddest logo.
Yeah, you should start etching those in there. Can you do that with your laser, Rob?
No, it reflects tinfoil. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, it reflects tinfoil. That's why you wear it.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie had some religious connotations too, right?
It did.
Yeah.
Look, why are you just like, you know what? I don't think fucking James is fucking ranted enough on this episode. I don't think that he has screamed and yelled at least. Let me check my watch about 45 fucking seconds. Let's talk about every little thing that will absolutely set him the fuck off because you know what? I'm bored. It's fucking Sunday. Fuck it. Why do you want to do this, Jason? Why?
Because I saw a button that I hadn't pushed yet.
Shit.
Yeah, he hadn't pushed that button. He's trying to keep himself awake for this entire hour.
Yeah, right.
He's worn out.
So tired.
He's like, so how can I do this?
I mean, it's definitely got arc parallels, Noah's Ark parallels.
Sans animals.
Sans animals. It's humans instead. Yeah.
Well, there's only right. So there's like 2 pairs of 2. It's just a lot of humans.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely an arc that left Earth to save humanity.
Like, are we supposed to make the leap that they have seeds of everything, like for the pizza plant?
I don't know that they have seeds. I think they just kind of fucking left. I don't think this was well thought out or planned.
How did they make food for 700 years?
Let's not ask too many deep questions, Rob. This is a fucking.
Look, it's like Discovery. They take their fecal matter.
Oh yeah, replicators.
And they recreate it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
They break it down at the molecular level.
Yep. So
and then rebuild it.
Mhm.
But also
eat shit.
one of the main characters of the movie is named Eve. And
Eva.
It's Eve.
It's
It's just
Eva.
Wally calls her Eva.
Therefore, it's Eva.
Okay. And it's kind of like an Eve redemption story, right? She brings back a plant that restores humanity instead of kicking humanity out of Eden. She brings back a plant that restores Eden.
Wow. He went far for this, didn't he?
He didn't. Like, again, I'm biting my fucking tongue here. I'm literally biting my tongue because this isn't a road that I want to go down. I am more than willing and more than happy to talk about how this is a leftist propaganda machine that is just pumping out bullshit out of Disney, probably since around 2008. I'm more than happy to talk about that. But this religious stuff, like, that's not something, like, you'll get a different Crowley. You'll get a different James. It's not a James. I don't think that's a James anybody really wants.
I mean, it's
No.
it's just symbolism.
Is there
in the movie
any
that they're
version of
borrowing
James
from,
anybody wants?
from the
No,
Bible?
there's
I
not,
don't know why that's taboo to talk about.
It's not taboo to talk about. You don't want me to talk about
Why?
it. I'm serious. Because it's not, you just don't. Because anything that is opposite, like, if you want to go down this road, God damn it, like, this is your fault, Jason.
It's my
I
fault.
want you to remember.
I'll take
when you were-
responsibility.
When you are editing this episode and you're listening, you're going, why the fuck did we do this? It's your fault. 100% it's your fault. Because anytime you take anything from a sacred text, like, for example, the Bible, and you do the exact opposite, right? So you're making the illusion that Eve got us kicked out of Eden, humanity, when I say us, not us personally, but humanity. And it wasn't just Eve. Adam was just as culpable, FYI.
Sure.
Then,
According to the story, yeah.
yeah, right. According to the story, Adam was just as culpable as Eve. And then making it where Eve gets us back into Eden, quote unquote. Anything that is opposite from a sacred text is blasphemous. And if it's done on purpose to be opposite with the intent to be opposite, again, that's extremely blasphemous. That is the antithesis of what is being taught on one side, and you're having the opposite over here.
So you can't
Like,
tell a story that uses like religious
not if
symbolism
the
or
intent,
allegory.
again, no, not if the intent is there. So again, you're talking about a book, about a sacred text, that there is a substantial amount of people that do not believe it's an allegory,
Okay.
that take a literal interpretation of it, or some to some extent, some literal interpretations of it, plural. So doing the opposite of that with the intent of doing the opposite of that, it's blasphemous.
So you're saying the movie is blasphemous.
I'm saying this movie's a lot of things, including not good.
So you're saying a story like Milton's Paradise Lost would be blasphemous.
No, I wouldn't say that that's blasphemous. Again, it's done in a different.
Really?
This has a very
Because Milton's Paradise
this has a
Lost,
very-
the whole point of Milton's Paradise Lost was to cast the devil as a classic hero.
I don't think. Okay, look, I don't think I've ever read Paradise Lost, so I can't speak to that. What I can speak to is, and yeah, anything that you're trying to. That's a devil cast in a good light. He's a goddamn devil. Like,
Well,
how does
read
that
Paradise Lost and you'll
work?
find out.
I have zero desire to read it. Zero.
It's actually a really good epic.
It doesn't sound like it already. Yeah, this has a very humanist story, whereas the Bible is not a humanist story. It is not secular. So I just
Well, by definition, the Bible is not secular.
right,
It's the main religious book for Christianity.
correct. So again, it is on the opposite end of the spectrum. So anything that it's doing with the intent of making those illusions is blasphemous.
Okay.
And it is disguised again as a children's movie, as a movie for children. Like, if you don't understand how I can sit here and go, this is propaganda, then there's something that's not something that I have. That's not my issue. It's your issue. The issue is that you're not seeing what it does. And it does. It, like you talk about brainwashing. It doesn't brainwash, but it does put seeds in the heads of kids that then get bloom when they go to the fucking stupid education system.
So, how is this planting seeds? I mean, walk me through step by step how this is planting seeds. So basically it said that
corporate bad, business bad.
No. Where did it say corporate bad? I don't think anywhere in the movie it said that corporations were bad.
Really? Okay. All right. No,
I think
you're right. It didn't say corporate
to
bad.
maybe
Nope.
corporate. I think you could
It
make
did more than allude. Everything was bought by big business. Government was run by big business. Okay. So again, kids see that, they soak it up. All right. It doesn't have to say it. It's spelled out, and adults look at it and we go, oh yeah, corporations bad. Fucking A. Yep. Absolutely. Fucking corporations eventually run government. Yep. Fucking corporations going to ruin the earth. Fuck yeah.
I think that's closer to the truth than what you're wanting to admit.
It is not. And see, and that's, I'm done talking about this movie. I'm done. I literally said everything I need to say about it. I have no awards and I have nothing else to say about this movie. Let me know when it's time to roll credits so I can talk about Discovery.
Okay. Well, if you want to drop, that's fine. Oh, yeah. What was the robot's obsession with fire?
I didn't see it as an obsession.
Really? You didn't see? I mean, when she blew up all those ships and it was just a raging fire. I mean, they both kind of cuddled up together and watched the fire burn. And then he found her a lighter and they lit it 3 million times. And then she found the lighter again.
No. Yeah, no.
And stared
I don't
at
think
the
he
flame.
knew it. He didn't know it was a lighter.
Yeah, but he stared at the flame along with her whenever she lit it.
Because she showed him something new. He was enamored. Look, if a girl came up to you when you were young and impressionable and showed you her titties, wouldn't you be enamored with titties from then on and want to see titties all the time?
What? How did you make the leap to boobs from fire?
Because it's this whole thing is a love story, and I was just trying to figure out some way to turn it into a porn show. Trying to bring back Jason or James Crowley, somebody.
All right, James, I got a question for you.
I heard boobs.
Yeah, you did.
Where are the boobs?
I'm working on it. Hold on a second.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Is WALL-E more sci-fi than 11/22/63?
Well, there's spaceships, there's robots, there's sentient robots, there's idiot robots. Unfortunately, yeah, it's more sci-fi, but it's certainly not better. I would watch 11/22/63 100 times in a row for a week or 2 weeks or however long it took me to watch it instead of if that meant I never had to watch this again.
Okay. So you're absolutely in love with the movie. Got it.
Yes.
Rob, you got a haiku for us this week?
I do. Hold on one second. I'm a little bit.
That's
busy.
terrible, Rob.
I know. Here's a different one. There you go.
That's worse.
Okay.
Why are we? Don't sexualize the goddamn robots.
You just wanted boobs. I gave you Eve.
I wanted
boobs.
real boobs. I didn't want fucking robot boobs.
Like when you look up WALL-E porn, this is what you get.
Oh my
Why
God.
are you looking up WALL-E porn? You are on a list now. Just
all
FYI,
right.
you are on a list.
What makes you think I haven't been on the list? Jeez. All right. This one is titled Romeo and Juliet. WALL-E and Eva, new lovers dancing in space. New directive, bone.
Oh my God.
Yep. I went there.
Oh my God. All right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Look, you're going to make us watch a children's movie. I'm going to pervert it as much as I can.
Hey, y'all are the one that picked the number.
You're the one that put it on the list.
Yeah, you're the one who put it on the list. And
It's
why was
sci-fi.
all of this? Why weren't you talking about boning and boobs before I fucking went on my rant? And I don't even know which rant. Like, pick a rant.
Because
you know what? This is all Rob's fault now.
Yeah,
okay.
It's all Rob's.
Somehow that makes me feel better about all of it.
All right. Perfect.
All right, who's picking the number this week?
Oh, we're not doing any awards?
Thought James said there were no awards.
Oh, okay.
Who the fuck gets an award in this? You know what? Who gets an award for this movie? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, if you watch this movie, you should feel bad about yourself. If you wrote this movie, you should feel bad about yourself. If you were in this movie, you should feel bad about yourself. Like, we should all just feel bad about ourselves at this point, okay? That's where I am, and that's where all of you should be.
Number is 700.
No, you don't get to do that. That's not how this works.
Blue.
Yeah, you can't just,
Blue is the new number.
Who's picking the number?
Blue.
Rob is. He said blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, when Rob gives me an actual number between 1 and 153,
Well,
See,
blue
that's
has
all you had
four letters in it.
Yeah, but you need you need to B equals 2, L
Jesus
equals just go with 69.
oh, good God. All right, tell me when to stop.
Don't ever stop.
You don't get to tell me.
Yeah, just stop. Just make it stop.
Make this episode end, please. This is a good one. This next week we are going to be reviewing
Why are you jinxing it,
Bambi.
Bob? Why are you Yeah, right. Why are you jinxing it?
Oh, I'm
Stop
sure y'all
jinxing
will
it.
hate this one too, even though it's...
Oh, good.
All right, so next week we will be discussing the movie where a civilian diving team is enlisted to search for a lost nuclear submarine and faces danger while encountering an alien aquatic species.
Abyss.
Yes. It stars Ed Harris, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. Michael Biehn, was directed by James Cameron. It's 1989's The Abyss.
Hey, look what we could do.
We
Look
get
what
to
we could
watch
do with technology in 1980.
Yeah, and we get to watch a dude swallow liquid.
He breathes liquid. He doesn't swallow it.
You know what? Can we just watch WALL-E again?
He takes a shot in the
knew it.
face.
How do you not like this movie too?
Because this movie is terrible, and it was made specifically to see what they could do at the time.
It was
with special effects.
It was a test bed for Terminator 2.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, liquid metal.
And it's just a terrible story. Like, seriously, we need a diving team. Like, who fucking wrote this? Like, this movie's so bad. It's so bad. And there's nothing saving this. Nothing. Like, fuck. I guess at least it's not a fucking left-wing fucking piece of propaganda.
You don't know. Wait till you watch it.
Yeah, let me watch it.
I'm sure you'll find it somewhere.
Save the whales.
Save the whales. All right, well, that's all we've got for this week. Our intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Cambo. Podcrawl music is Snack Mix by Machette. If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can leave us feedback on our Discord channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com.
It took a while. It took a little
Discord.
bit while.
On Twitter at @status_podcast, or you can email us at smokinganddrinkinginspace.outlook.com.
Michael Burnham.
If you'd like to throw a few nickels our way, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon.
Captain, my captain.
And make sure to visit Creative Brain Candy for more great shows and other creative works at
Oh man, she can tell me to fly any day.
For this week, I'm Jason.
I lost train of thought because now I'm thinking about Michael Burnham naked.
You just want to be next to a guy named Michael naked.
No. No.
What I don't even want to know
Sequoia
what you
Martin
fucking talking
Green.
about.
Call me,
she's
baby.
okay. But like, you know what? Where's the
Oh my
Empress?
God. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Where's the Empress?
We'll find out.